Gotta get home. It's time for lunch. Let's go.
Is this, Steve talked about this being an 8-game road trip. Does this kind of just feel like an extension of the road trip, or?
Very good mattress for a night, so it's good. But it's weird because it's a lot of miles covered and whatnot. But we can't really plan it at if we're going to try to get wins. It's got to be business as usual as best we can tonight, especially against a good Boston team. So we got to be ready.
Talk about Isaiah Thomas this season.
It's been amazing. He's obviously been really, really clutch. Won a lot of games for his team just off of his sheer will and playmaking. But he's, taking his game to probably not the next level, but the next level after that. And it's been fun to watch.
What was off with your shot, and then what got back on in the second half in Atlanta?
There's nothing specific, man. I don't know. From game to game, everything felt great. Just shots didn't fall, and I don't know if it's a timing thing or if it was not enough legs or whatever you want to call it. You hope that eventually things will kind of even out, and still feel like I can shoot better. And I know I can, so going to keep that confidence and keep shooting.
So much was made at the beginning of the season, adjusting to having Kevin around, and now you guys are having to do the opposite. It is an adjustment now again, a few games in without him, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's obviously we know what he brings to the table every night. He only missed one game up until his injury, so different rotations, a couple different play calls that we don't run now because they're catered to kind of just getting him to a scoring spot. But for the most part, our identity is what it is, and it's always been that way. And it was a tough stretch when shots weren't falling for whatever reason. It looks a lot worse than it actually is, and we're very, very kind of happy with how we've kind of turned it on, and especially defensively put in some really good efforts, and we're going to keep that going.
At what point did you realize that McCaw could be an important part of the rotation this season?
Honestly, in training camp, his IQ for the game is very, very high. He understands exactly, just how to impact the game when he's out there. The biggest thing for him is just to continue to preach aggressiveness, no matter what lineup he's with. As you saw, like in preseason and the Denver game, he took over and showed the full repertoire of what he can bring. And you don't want him to lose that, whether he's playing with the starters or whether he's playing with the second unit. When he's out there, the confidence he has to take shots, to put the ball on the floor, make plays, it's got to be there, and it has.
Do you think it's kind of cool having a connection to the We Believe team now on the roster with Barnes here?
It is kind of cool. When I first got here as a rookie, that was the talk with everybody when it came to the Warriors was, can y'all duplicate what they did? And so just have obviously a guy that lived that out and got the Warriors kind of on the map. Early on was just pretty special to have him back, and I know for him, great memories obviously, and hopefully he can add to that.
The father of the ball kids down in LA, he kind of keeps making headlines, and he's brought up your name a couple times with his son. Does some of the stuff he's saying bother you at all? Or?
I don't want to talk about that. I wish his kids the best, and I know they're going to be great NBA players. That's their job. That's it.
Do you feel like you may be putting undue pressure on, 19-year-olds, 16-year-olds?
Every person should parent their kid how they feel they should. I mean, that's it.
Steph, as Kevin gets closer to coming back, did you learn stuff in the playoffs last year that you think you could help him with? And you got a similar injury and that idea that you come back and you're not necessarily yourself right away. I mean, did you learn stuff last year that you think could help him down the line?
Yes and no. It's a very similar injury. I was kind of in I guess, a more urgent situation with us being in the middle of the first round and not really knowing how long it would take me to get healthy, one, and then get a rhythm back, two. Um, Obviously for him, it's not ideal situation at all, but to be able to hopefully, best case scenario, have a week maybe or however long before the playoffs start, maybe get a couple games under his belt, to get his timing and rhythm back would be nice. But I know he's looking forward to just taking his time, not rushing the process of healing. That's the biggest thing I want for him is, we'll be okay as long as he can get to 100%, and hopefully there's enough time, the rest of the schedule before the playoffs to actually have that happen.
When the bench performs like it did in the last game, what does that do for you, and what are you able to see from the bench watching them play? I mean, what are your thoughts when you watch that happen?
Whether it's the regular season or playoffs, like everybody is a part of winning. Every person on the team has a role in that. So on certain nights it may show more loudly than other nights, but you don't win 73 games. You don't win, or you don't have the record we have now without 15 guys, and just making sure everybody's locked in on a night-to-night basis, not really knowing whose button's going to be pushed, who's going to come out and have a huge impact. You just got to be ready for those moments. So, like, Ian comes in and checks in. First touch he gets is a corner three, and he knocks it down. Pat comes in, is aggressive, makes plays, stretches, takes advantage of some big momentum swings and opens the game up for us. D West comes in and makes plays. Like, we have all these guys that know they're going to get some time on the floor, and they just got to be ready, because it takes the whole squad to do what we're doing.
With KD out, does that even give you even more of a lift to see that, though?
Oh, for sure, because there's more of an onus on those guys playing well because of how the minutes fall in rotations and even just the flow of the game. You got to have aggressiveness all across the board. It gave us a huge energy boost on the trip when you have those moments, 6 to 8 minute stretches or 4 to 6 to 8 minute stretches where they come in and just make plays and kind of stun the crowd when they think they had control of the game, and our second group comes in and does the work.
Do you know if KD's in pain right now with the bone bruise?
I do not know, but I would assume so because it's pretty significant injury. But yeah, no, he's got a good protocol to get himself back on the floor.
Thanks, Seth.
Thank you.
Got a little